Two Spaniards, but not related. You can see a very common name in Spain. And here is Farpala. This could be a sensational start for...
What a good moment this was. Miscontrols the ball there, just sends Cahill the wrong way, chops it back across him. Little nutmeg there, tries to go in at the near post. Courtois was ready for it. It's also a good height for the goalkeeper. Looking at Chelsea's options, passing options, don't seem too great at times. Certainly not forward passes.
It's Pedro. Goes again and hits the post. And they suddenly look vulnerable then. Pedro, the ball that needed smothering away by Caballero.
Well, this is a chance made out of Barcelona here. Square 1-2. Fabregas playing it back into the path of Pedro. Does everything right. It's a good first.
Pedro. Fabregas. This time it was Pedro to Fabregas to the shot, and Caballero touched it gratefully.
He's found a lot of space here, Fabregas. He's one of the holding midfield players, but found that bit of space in behind Diego Costa. Just the movement of Diego Costa. Di Michelis couldn't close the ball down.
Kept in by Azar. Out for Abderrahman. He sees the movement here. Pedro, who won't have seen the flag, but it's up.
There you see it again, Man City. As soon as
Papala. Iheanacho hits it with plenty of optimism. And scoring that defeat by Tottenham, came on as a substitute in the last Premier League game for City.
Papala doing well again. He runs down one side of Ivanovic, then cuts back across him. Iheanacho just has to hold his run here. Nothing else on his mind but get his shot away. Strikes it nicely, but always rising.
Company is on the bench. Azar. Fabregas. In by Hazard. 1-0. A straightforward header by the man in the mask, Diego Costa. Patient play and a little too crafty for Manchester City. Chelsea lead.
Well, it's a well-worked goal by Chelsea. Diego Costa doing what he didn't do against PSG, heading it back across the goalkeeper. Certainly wasn't easy a header for him this time. He played the little ball in. Hazard makes the run beyond the ball. Zabaleta lets him run. Centre half doesn't see it quite early enough, but it's a great delivery back into the box. All that Hazard does is just help it back into the danger area. Can't really pick out Diego Costa. Diego Costa gets a good position between Di Michelis and Kolarov. Neither see the run or neither see Diego Costa, and a good header back past the goalkeeper.
Well, he's now scored 9 in a 12-game run, including today.
There's a good slide challenge.
Here's Iheanacho, and City might be in for an equaliser here, and they've got it. Farpala forced it in for a debut goal. And City's kids hit back straight away.
Well, I was just about to say, Iheanacho, surely he's got to hit through the back of the ball and shoot himself. He decided to square it. Farpala wasn't going to get there first, but there's Azpilicueta. Could he have done better at the far post? There's good combination play. Ball round the corner, two front players linking up well there. Either he's going to shoot for goal himself. Azpilicueta coming across. I'm not sure there's too much he can do. He's trying to kick through the ball. Farpala just blocks it.
Blocks it into the net. 1-1.
Thibaut Courtois just gets a slight touch on it. I think Azpilicueta, when you see from that angle, may have been able to do better. Kick it off for a corner rather than trying to kick it out.
Well, that's a great response. The sort of expected scenario, given the team selection. Chelsea working at it, getting a goal up, going on to get... Chelsea trying to re-establish the lead here, which only lasted a couple of minutes. And they might be able to do it with Fabregas. Oh, it's a great save by Caballero from Pedro.
They're doing at the moment. Watch again, they squeeze up, the 1-2's played. And it's a good chance, but Caballero, it's the right height for him. Hazard just reversing it back into Fabregas. Looking for Pedro again.
And here come Chelsea again. Pedro. Well, he's made the chance for himself with some nifty shifting of the ball. And he can't get the goal that he's threatened to get. It's been elusive so far.
It's inside Zabaleta, centre half in the right position. But over the last couple of 3 weeks,
Game having conceded the surprise equaliser. Willian didn't quite have enough bend on it, but he's been striking another 11.
I think if Man City try and hold the edge of their penalty box.
Performance. Here's Willian. Hazard. Costa coming in from the left-hand side, but it's played in to Willian, who tucks it away. And he contributes again, Chelsea's player of the season so far. In the 3rd minute of the second half, Chelsea restored their lead. Stuart Robson.
Well, Willian has been a great counter-attacking threat throughout the season. It's about the first time in the game there has been space for him to run with the ball. But we've been talking about Manchester City holding the line at the edge of their box, and they do it again here, and it's far too easy for Willian to pick his run and Hazard to pick his pass. There's nothing too problematic about this situation at the moment, and then they hold the line. Di Michelis doesn't go with the runner. Willian times his run perfectly. He's level with Di Michelis, and a good finish into that bar post. It's an easy pass for Hazard as well.
And an assured, accomplished finish from the Brazilian, who's really become the pin-up boy this season. He was assisting Hazard last season. It's been the other way around this time. And he's possibly going to steal the show again for Chelsea.
And it's not just this back four that have got it wrong for Man City.
And Fabregas is onside. It's a great angle for the cross. It's really hung up to where Zabaleta can just get a glancing touch. That's hammered in by Gary Cahill. And surely Chelsea are now in the quarter-finals. They've started the second half strongly. And it just fell kindly to a centre-back who has an eye for goal, and he's shown it again here.
Well, he hasn't got bad technique either. Goes through the goalkeeper, Caballero. Whatever was said at half-time, Chelsea have come out, played at another level and a higher tempo. To start with, it's not particularly good play from Hazard. It doesn't pick anybody out, just crosses it aimlessly into the box. Clearance isn't good from Fernando. Maybe the goalkeeper should do better. Doesn't get his bottom hand down in time, but a good finish from Cahill. He certainly is a good technician for a centre-half. It's right through the back of the ball. It's just too much pace for the goalkeeper.
And now they're heading for the last 8. And maybe Huss heading for all the way here. They're trying to, with Pedro, Azpilicueta, Willian, Pedro, Di Michelis. They're asking for offside. They weren't going to. Now Fabregas, a touch and hit, 2 touches and hit. And he was reaching for it. The second touch wasn't quite the setup for the shot that he probably could have created.
There's another example. It's not a bad pass from Eden Hazard at the end of it, a good pass. When the ball first went to him on the counter, he slowed it down, he allowed Zabaleta to create a 2v1 against him.
So it is the still young Belgian trying to brighten up his own personal campaign, and he's done it. That will mean a lot, not just to the scorer but to his teammates as well. Just hitting with that white coat on now. I've been asked by the referee to put that on because he looked like the 4th official Well, that looked like the real Eden Hazard.
Certainly did. It's a clever free kick as well. Caballero doesn't cover himself in glory again. He starts to go behind the wall before the ball's played. Moving across, Hazard just passes it. There's 3 Chelsea players in that wall. May just move out the way. Caballero can't see it, but he can't start wandering across the goal before the ball's played. There's no way he's going to get back. There you see it. Great free kick.
But the goalkeeper's side of the goal.
It's poor goalkeeping. And I don't think he's put in a good performance at all, Caballero. And that will do Eden Hazard the world of good.
City can make a bit of inroads into the damage caused, and Zabaleta makes some inroads here, and they might get one back. Iheanacho with a back heel. He's done that trick before. And there was plenty of power on the technique, but he couldn't force it across the line.
First time I've really seen Zabaleta get forward. Doesn't been able to get forward that often. Does really well. Doesn't get his first touch right. He certainly does get enough power in it. And once again, Cahill in the right place. A lot of space in at that far post. Cahill gets the block in. Probably Courtois would have made the save.
Oscar. Willian to the left. Oscar wants a bit of personal glory, and he wasn't far away from getting it. He's sitting, chomping at the bit, really, to get on and be a part of it.
He had a look at all the options. He looked right, he looked left. Came back inside Garcia. Trying to wrap his foot round it. And bend it into that far corner. Doesn't come round inside.
Willian. And Michaelis has been penalised. It's a penalty. And he could get a second yellow here. Andre Mariner has pointed to the spot. More pain for Manchester City.
I think he has to see the run earlier. And then he gets the other side of Traore. He's always the wrong side. It gives him a nudge in the back. Traore goes down. The referee, Andre Mariner, saying that it's the official on that far side that...
Here the Chelsea substitutes. And here goes Oscar, and Caballero keeps it out. Went the right way. It's pretty academic to the results, but a wasted opportunity for Chelsea.
Sometimes the delay allows the goalkeeper to just get that little bit further with his style, but it's not a good penalty from Oscar.
And it's not his first penalty failure of the season. That'll be quickly forgotten. But here is Hazard. They're in again, Chelsea here. Traore against the post. Oscar trying to knock it in. A bit of fortune on Manchester City.
And watch the pass here from Fabregas round the corner. Again, they're trying to hold a line on the edge of the penalty box. They're broken far too easily. Hazard just overhits it to Traore. He has to adjust his feet and stretch for it. Chelsea have played some wonderful football in this second half. Man City get lucky. Try and step up. Saw the ball was going to be played in behind and read it and dealt with it.
Chelsea.
It was a complete accident. Palmer slipped over and he slipped right into Fabregas.
Kolarov has a good hit. That was going in. Courtois had very little to do. And he was ready for that one.
Well, I thought that Kolarov was going to bend it in behind the Chelsea back four, but he went with power. It's a good strike and a good save as well. Hasn't had too much to... I think it's flawed.
And then goes Hazard. The ball's ended up in the back of the net. Hazard wasn't needed in the end. Traore gives it the thumbs up. And they do have 5, Stuart.
They certainly do. It's a cross, an in-swinging cross into the box. He's got a lot of work to do. I think he just lets it skid off the top of his head. And he's had a disappointing game. Caballero, he thought that was going over the bar, but just crept in. Sets up the play. Oscar out on that far side, back onto his right foot, just whips the ball in. Well, I'm not even sure he's going for goal. I think he's just trying to flick that on. And it's going your way. It certainly does go your way. Hazard coming round the back. Caballero looks at it. Maybe should do better again. Squeezes in at that far post.
It's definitely Traore's goal. He scored in the 4th round at MK Dons, and he's got this one to his name as well. just out. Hazard's got Oscar to work with here. Let's just put the brakes on the pass. And City has spared a 6. Followed by Cahill and Hazard's free kick and Traore's back header. Second half for Chelsea against City's second string, you might call it. Hazard hit a vintage free kick in the help yourself time in the second half. It was Cahill as well with a good finish up for a set piece. Willian got it going in the second period. And Traore got in on the act as well. First half was 1-1 and City had stuck at it with Papala getting a debut goal, but in the end Chelsea romped it. Chelsea 5, they're through the 5th round, Manchester City 1.